So we are in lesson 89 and we're going to be looking at two-way frequency tables. Two-way frequency tables are a way to organize information that has two yes or no questions and show how they relate to each other. So the first part says out of 40 students, 14 are taking English, 29 are taking chemistry, and 5 are taking both. So the way we organize the two-way table is we put the one quality, which is English, in one direction and chemistry in the other. We're going to start out though because the totals, so the 40 students would go down here. That's the total number of students. So English, I could write the word English here, but we're going to let E be the event a student takes English. So this is column E. And then over here, we're going to do the opposite of E, which we call the complement, so that's not E. So that means not English. So if I was writing words, I would write not English. Our other quality, which is whether or not a student takes chemistry, goes in the other direction. So we're going to write C for chemistry here and not C here. These final rows and columns are the totals. So the other information we have, it says 14 people are taking English. So we put that in the total number of people taking English. 29 are taking chemistry, so the total taking chemistry is 29. And 5 are taking both. So whenever we have two qualities, such as 5 are taking both, we put that in the intersection of the row and the column. So this is where the 5 goes, where that's English and chemistry, going along with those words we used last night. Now, you're going to be given enough information, and each row and column has to add up to their totals, so you should be able to fill in the rest of the cells. For example, if we have 5 people here and 29 total, this has to be a 24. If we have 29 and the total in that row is 40, this has to be an 11 because 29 plus 11 is 40. And in the same way, this would be a 26. 24 plus 1 is 26, that's a 2. And the last cell, we can do 5 plus 1 is 14. And you'll see this way, 9 plus 2 also equals 11. So all the numbers should work out. And once we have this information organized, we have more information about the two questions from just those couple pieces of information I was given. So we're going to practice writing down what we have, practice some set notation as well. So chemistry, we're noting with a C. How many people are taking chemistry? How many people are in that subset? That's 29, okay, because the total chemistry is 29. E stands for English, and the total English is 14. Both of those answers I could have gotten from the top. The rest of them is going to be, we're going to be able to find more easily now that we have a two-way table of them. So this is C complement, which means not chemistry. So everything but chemistry, if we think about what our complement means with that little apostrophe. So how many students are not taking chemistry? I don't use the 9 or the 2, because those things have to do with English also. I go all the way over to find the total for chemistry. This here means an intersection, C intersect E, so that means chemistry and English. So if I take the chemistry and the English, I want it to be in both the chemistry row and the English column, that number is a 5. Neither, if I translate that, neither means not chemistry and also not English. Okay, so if I look there, I need to find the intersection or where the not C and the not E cross if I follow their row and column. So go ahead and try that, but you should get the number 2 because that's the number that's not chemistry and also not English is the 2. So writing up the next one, we have chemistry but not English. We don't have the word and, but in this case that does mean an and, chemistry and not English. So that is also an intersection. I want them to be in chemistry, and I also want them not to be in English. So if I intersect those two, the C with a not E, I get 24. And lastly, this is not chem and English. So that intersection, not chemistry and English, is 9. Not chem, English intersects at 9. Now the next two are unions because we have the word or, and they're a little trickier to figure out. So chemistry or English. So first off, notation-wise, that's chemistry or English. So that means when we unite something, we want everyone that's in both. So the total in chemistry is 29, and the total in English is 14. And as you're listening to these notes, it's really important that you go and locate these numbers because that'll help you see what's going on. The problem is if I add those up, that adds up to 43, and I don't even have 43 people in this questionnaire. So the problem is if I add up the 29 and the 14, I know I have a lot of stuff going on, I've counted the number 5 twice because 5 is included in the chemistry and the English. And I don't want to count people twice, so I have to subtract off the 5, which is their intersection. If I do that, I come down below the number that I should be, and I get 38. So most of the students are either taking chemistry or English. So the next one, chemistry, union, not English. So this is chem or not English. So all the chemistry is 29, all the not English is 26, and their intersection, where those two cross, is 24, so I subtract that off.